The third most asked question I get from actors every week is, how do I put together a great demo reel? Now, as a director and producer, I've watched thousands of demo reels in my career. Some of those demo reels have been very effective at getting actors cast. Unfortunately, many of the demo reels I've watched have been horrible. It is much better to have no demo reel than to have a bad demo reel. So today, we're going to go over some tips and guidelines for putting together a powerful demo reel that will help you book jobs, get an agent, move forward with your career. When do you need a demo reel? If you're a new actor, don't fret about the fact that you don't have a demo reel. You don't need one yet. No one expects you to have one because you're new. Keep this in mind. When casting directors are looking at new actors and they're calling them in for small co-star roles, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, they're not watching your demo reel. So you don't need one to audition for those casting directors. Casting directors will start looking at your demo reels when you start auditioning for larger roles. So in television, that's going to be your guest star roles, your recurring roles, your series regular roles. For film, it's going to be your supporting leads, major supporting characters, and your leads. No one's watching a demo reel when they're thinking about auditioning you for a 3-line part. They don't have the time. So when you're brand new and you're just starting out, don't worry about it. Keep doing the work you need to do, and you'll get the footage eventually to put together a strong reel. Now, for agents, a demo reel is very useful to get an agent. However, if you don't have a reel and you want an agent, all you have to do is put together a really strong audition reel. And that's something you can do in one day. And to get details on that, you can check out my video on how to get a great agent. Now we're going to cover the 10 guidelines for putting together an effective, professional-looking reel. Just start the damn thing. No intros, no musical montages, no headshots spinning across the screen, no headshots at all. We don't want to see your name come up on the screen. We don't see your contact information, your agency information. Just start your first scene. Because anyone who's watching your demo reel knows where it came from, because either you or your agent sent it to the person. So these people are very, very busy. Get to the scene immediately. Put your best scene first. That sounds obvious, but I can't tell you the number of times I watched a demo reel where the best scene was at the end. Now, their thought process was probably, I'm going to surprise them at the end. Well, don't do that, because the viewer may not get to the end. So always put your best scene first. Now, best is a subjective term. How do you go about determining what is the best scene? I think what you have to do is you have to balance a couple of criteria. Number one is your performance. You obviously want your first scene to show you acting in a powerful way. Number two is the recognition of the projects that you're in. You want to pick a scene that is something that's the most recognizable of the things that you've done, if your performance in it is really strong, and if you have a big enough part in the scene. If you have one line in a scene with a big famous actor on a big studio film, you shouldn't probably start your demo reel with that, because it's not enough for the viewer to see who you are and get a sense of what you do. I'm not saying you can't use that one line in your reel, you just want to save it for later. Now, when you're doing this balancing act, if you're looking through your footage and you see your absolute best performance is in a crappy student film with low production value, don't use that. Okay? Don't use that. Also, you want to make sure that the footage that you use in your reel, especially at the beginning, but throughout for the most part, are from newer projects that are more recent. I watched a reel a few months ago that was a really strong reel, and this actress was amazing. She was a woman in her mid-30s, I would guess. A couple weeks later, I met the actress and saw that she's actually in her early 50s. So her footage was amazing, but it was from a long, long time ago. So when she gets called in by a casting director to do an audition, the person who walks in the door is not the person they're expecting after watching her reel. So you want to make sure your reel reflects you pretty recently. The focus should be on you. When you start that demo reel, the very first thing I want to see is your face. And then every scene after that, the first thing I want to see is your face. I can't tell you the number of demo reels I watch where the first 10 or 15 seconds of the person's reel is of someone else, or it's a cutaway shot of some kind of action taking place. That's ridiculous. start on your face. The viewer should always know who the focus of that demo reel is, and it's you. Something else to keep in mind. If you have a scene with another actor who is not famous, who looks somewhat like you, let's say you're both early 20s, female, blonde, you probably shouldn't start your demo reel with that scene, because I'll have no idea which actor I'm supposed to be watching if you guys look alike. Certainly don't start in a two-shot of two actors who are similar looking. Now, the last thing to keep in mind, and this is a tough one, and I understand why people are tempted to do this, but if you have a scene with a famous actor, do not start the scene with the famous actor. I watched a reel recently where literally the first 45 seconds of this person's reel was of a famous actor talking, and then this actor had one line. That's completely useless. We're not watching a reel of the famous actor. So cut that out. Put that in the later on in your scene. That scene should have started with the actor's line and then go from there. We're not there to watch a famous actor do their performance. Now, obviously, having a famous actor in your scene gives you some credibility and gives you some weight, but it still should be focused on you. And when you're cutting those scenes down, you want to cut out other people as much as possible. Even if it's a famous actor, trim them down as much as possible so that we see them, we see some reaction shots, we hear a line or two, but we don't have any doubt that the focus is on you. The story of the scene isn't important. You are. So when you're cutting the scenes for your demo reel, don't worry about trying to maintain the narrative structure of the scene. You want to chop it down so the focus of that scene is on you. And if it doesn't make a lot of sense, that's okay. We're not there to watch a movie, we're there to see your demo reel. It should be edited like a demo reel, with the focus on you. Keep each scene in your demo reel short. Most scenes should be between 30 seconds and 1 minute long. There's almost never a reason to have a scene in your demo reel that is over 1 minute long. Now, if you have multiple scenes in a movie that show different aspects of what you bring to the table, feel free to use them. So when I'm referring to scenes, I'm referring to actual scenes, not projects. So you might have more than 30 seconds from a particular project if you have a large role in the film or the TV show. But each particular scene, we want to get in, see what you're doing, and get out. Now, what you don't want to do is, and I see this all the time, I'll see people who have a student film or a short film, and they'll pull 2 minutes out of that student film or short film and use it in their demo reel. And that is just long and boring. You shouldn't use 2 minutes from a huge $100 million film. So certainly don't do that if it's a little low budget film, a student film, a short film. 30 seconds to a minute, boom, move on to the next scene. 30 seconds to a minute, boom, move on to the next scene. Keep us wanting more. A demo reel is a commercial for your product. Every successful company, when they do advertising, they have a consistent message to help sell their product. You should do the exact same thing. You want to focus on your brand when you're putting together the scenes for your demo reel. What you don't want to do is try to show variety or range or show you can play all kinds of characters, because most likely that'll end up with you playing no characters. I'll give you my example from my own life. Before I became a professional actor, I had a demo reel that I'd put together with student films and short films and web series and low budget films. And it had me playing all kinds of characters, showing all kinds of range and variety. And my friends back home would watch my demo reel and they'd call me up and they'd go, "Oh my God, Mark, that's amazing. You should win an Academy Award. You're so versatile. You have such a range." But I did not book professional work with that demo reel. It was not until I took my demo reel and picked scenes that reflected what my brand is, put those together and started using it. My friends then watched the demo reel and they're like, there's nothing special about that. That's just kind of you. But I started working professionally. Why? Because that commercial, that demo reel, tells the casting director, the producers and directors exactly what I bring to the table. They know what to expect with my product. That's the whole point of our marketing. That's the whole point of a demo reel. So, If you're putting together a demo reel and you're using student films or short films, or you're getting together with friends and shooting scenes, or you're hiring a company to make scenes, it is not the time to try to think to yourself, let me broaden my horizons. What you're doing there is going to lock yourself in to low-level work and prevent you from moving up the levels of this industry. So, it's a commercial for your product. Sell your product. Use your brand. This is an easy one. You want to put the title of the project in the lower third of the screen on the left or right hand side. You want to come up within the first second or two that the new project is playing, and then should be up for 2, maybe 3 seconds, and then fade out. Easy. At the end of the demo reel, you can put your name. Now, there's no reason to put your contact info, your agent's contact info. You can if you want to. But again, anyone who's watching your demo reel, it was sent to them by your agent or by you. No one who is reputable in this industry is randomly perusing YouTube, watching demo reels looking for talent. So if you send over your demo reel, they'll know how to get in touch with you. You want to create separate demo reels for drama, comedy, and commercials. The reason for that is if a producer is considering you to play the fun, wacky neighbor on a new sitcom, you don't want them watching you play a violent, drunken killer on some drama that you did. You're going to keep it simple and clean and make it easy to sell you. How long should your demo reel be? Well, that completely depends on where you are in your career. If you're a newer actor who's auditioning for co-star roles in TV shows and small day player roles in films, your demo reel may be 30 seconds to a minute, minute and a half long, and that's it. Now, as you progress in your career and you book larger roles and more significant projects, your demo reel is probably going to get longer. If you look at an established actor who is consistently auditioning for series regular roles in TV, for supporting, major supporting, and lead roles in films, they may have a demo reel that's 7 to 10 minutes long. It just depends on where you are in your career. But whether your demo reel is 30 seconds long or 9 minutes long, every single scene in it has to be great, because as soon as the viewer hits a mediocre scene, they're going to stop watching the demo reel. So as you grow in your career, you're going to get more and more great scenes, and your demo reel is going to grow as you're being considered for larger and larger projects. But don't fret too much about how long it is. Just make sure that what you have there is really, really good. One of the questions I get a lot is, how do I get the footage to put together a reel? Now, if you're an established actor, that's not a problem. You're probably more concerned about all the stuff you have to cut out that you can't use in your reel because you don't have enough space. But for a new actor, there's a couple ways that you can go about getting footage for your reel, and I'm going to cover those in detail. The best option is from projects that you work on. As a new actor, you should be trying to work on as many student films, short films, web series, low-budget feature films as you possibly can. Every chance you get to act, take it. Because when you're on set and you're acting, you're going to learn your craft. You're going to learn how a set works. You're going to build relationships with people. Those are all extraordinarily valuable for a new actor. And then you might get footage you can use on your demo reel. Now, many of these films that you work on at level 1 are not going to be very good. And if they're not very good, don't use them. But every once in a while you work on one that really is good. Those are the ones you want to pull to put on your demo reel. Now, when you're working on a student film, I suggest that you always request your raw footage from the director. That way you can edit the scene exactly how you want for your demo reel. Obviously you can't do this with professional projects, but you can do it with student films, and you can come out with something that looks really good for your demo reel. The second option is for you to get together with your actor friends and shoot scenes for your reel. Now, the way to do this is 4 actors get together, they each pitch in $100. They take that $400 and they hire a small crew. Just go to your local film school, community college, what have you, that has a film department. Hire some students who know what they're doing. You can shoot 3 scenes on a Saturday. So what you do is you do a 1-minute scene with each of the other 3 actors. Only focus on shooting medium shots and close-ups. Don't do 2 shots, don't do master shots, don't have an artistic cutaway shot of a spoon stirring a cup of coffee. A demo reel should be focused on your face, so that's what we should shoot. your face. Don't waste time shooting a bunch of stuff because you're not shooting a scene for a film, you're shooting a scene for your demo reel. Okay? So you shoot these 1-minute scenes with each of the other 3 actors, and then you edit them down into the best 30 seconds. So in one Saturday, you can have 3 30-second scenes, a 1.5-minute reel. Boom, ready to go. Now, you want to make sure that you only use really good actors. You don't want to do a scene with an actor who's not strong. Also, because you're able to do the scenes that you want to do, make sure that you focus on delivering your brand. Again, this is not the time to try to pick out crazy characters that you would never realistically be cast as by a professional production. You can hire a company that will create a demo reel for you. Now, this is my least favorite of the 3 options. There are some companies out there that do this that are good, and there are a lot of them out there that are terrible, but all of them are really expensive. However, if you decide you want to go this route, you want to make sure that you take control of the process. Remember, you are the CEO of your own company. You're hiring another company to create a commercial for your product. So you want to be actively involved in the creation of that commercial. So you want to make sure that you pick your scenes. You want to make sure that you have final say in the edit of those scenes. You want to make sure that you get to pick the actors who are working the scenes with you. Do you need to hire an editor to cut your demo reel? From a technical perspective, cutting a demo reel is not very difficult. So if you have a moderate level of experience using an editing program, I say go for it. Just make sure you follow the guidelines that we covered today. Now, if you're not comfortable doing any editing, you certainly want to hire a good editor. But make sure the editor has experience cutting demo reels. You might have an editor who's cut a bunch of short films, who's a really good editor, but if that person doesn't know how to cut a demo reel, the product that you get is not going to be very good. Now, all you have to do is have them watch this video so they know how to do it. Or you can sit down with them and guide them as they're doing the edit. Where should you post your reel? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to edit your reel down into its individual scenes and then post those individual scenes to your Actors Access page. That way your agent can submit whichever scenes they want to for any role that they're submitting you for. The second thing you want to do is you want to post your demo reel to your IMDb page. That's the website that every professional uses to check on actors, so you want to make sure your demo reel is there. Thirdly, you want to upload your demo reel to Vimeo. Make sure that it's a downloadable file. That just gives you a way to easily email your demo reel to agents if you're looking for agents, or your agent can email to casting directors when they're requesting your reel. And that's it. I hope these tips and guidelines have been helpful. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at info@savannahactorstudio.com.